Allison Sweeney once said to us, cash is great, but change is better. What a great quote. I say it all the time. I steal that from Allison. Absolutely. So today we're talking about what? Change. One of my favorite quotes that I copy and I use all the time is what? Cash is great. Change is better. It's so true. There's something to say about the change in your pocket, but there's something also to say about the change in your life, right?
That's right.
We have changed a lot of our circumstances. But it was one of those things where I remember, and we talked about this, so many times Olivia and I would always say to each other, is this as good as it gets? Right? We'd always say stuff like that.
And the difference is you're not just saying, is this as good?
You're manifesting it.
You're not just saying, is this as good as it gets? No, you're believing the lie.
That's right.
Because life is always changing.
There's right.
Nothing, if you're unhappy, then there are steps you can take to go and change it. Like, don't just stay in your same circumstance
That's right.
over and over again. So why don't we talk about some of these areas of your life where you can change it?
Like your job. Okay. Think about your job is we all have to make money. We all have to pay our bills. We all have to live in that way. You spend more time at work and with your coworkers than you do your own family.
Yep.
Okay. It's true. One of the things that I was nervous about, I worked for a wonderful company called HCA, which now I work for H2U. I sat behind my desk for many years, self-inflicting, and gained several pounds, obviously, several hundred pounds.
I was going to say, and yeah.
And so I remember telling Olivia, you know, I love my job, I love my company, but I just feel like sitting behind this desk, it's just like killing me, and I'm just eating myself into. So when I came back from Biggest Loser, I just went to them. I said, I want to stay with HCA, I want to, but I want to help my lifestyle. My lifestyle has completely changed now. And I became the director of health for H2U in marketing. And it's wonderful because they support everything I do. Not that HCA didn't, they're wonderful, but they put me in a role that I could really thrive. And it helps them and it helps me. And it was like, I don't know if I would have ever had the guts to say, my job's making me fat, or I want to do something else. You know, and also working for a company that believes in you, that really puts your health first.
That's right.
Like HCA and H2U.
That's right.
What about you?
For me, you know, I mean, as most of you know, is a big part of my story. I was an opera singer for many years, but being an artist like that, I always had to have jobs on the side. I always had to have desk jobs. I always had to, you know, temp and do things, and I never had time for myself. And you know, I was given this amazing experience as The Biggest Loser. And when I left Biggest Loser, I decided that the best thing for me was to pay it forward. And that's what my desire completely changed. And so I thought,
and your desires can change. That's okay, right?
Of course. And I thought to myself, how can I incorporate this into my life in some way that would be, you know, a monetary way for me to add money to my household income? And for me, you know, I will always sing and I will always do things here and there, but my passion has just changed. My passion is for people.
And you've changed. You're a different person now.
Exactly. And my passion is for people out there who need an encouraging word, who need somebody to say, you know what, I get it because I was there. I've been there. I know what you're going through. I understand. And I think that is so powerful.
It is powerful.
So for me, we started My Fitspiration. And, you know, for me.
And it started out as a doodles on a piece of paper. It started out as like a plan.
And now it's become our business. And I love it because it's the sky is
what you want it to be.
Exactly. And who knows what My Fitspiration will turn into. We're still in such the beginnings of it. But
Baby stages.
I'm so thrilled,
Me
you
too.
know, that has become my life's work. And
this is so out of our comfort zone. You have to understand, before we would have never, A, talked in front of anyone.
No.
B, been on any sort of camera.
No.
You know?
Absolutely.
Also, what about your friends? Think about that.
Yeah. But I will say, I have to say that, you know, it was scary for me because, and it still is scary for me because it's a misnomer out there that Hannah and I, people think Hannah and I have like millions of dollars, and I don't.
And we get paid to work out. We wish.
And I don't, you know, and it has been a big cut in money and salary for me to do this, but it's worth it.
It was
because
a risk. It was a major risk.
It was a risk, and I know it will pay off, and I'm not in it just doing it just for money either. But my point is that sometimes to get what you want and to go where you want to go, it may take taking a job that's a little bit less money, but that there's more room to grow. You know what I mean?
It might be having an uncomfortable conversation with your boss or your manager.
Yep. maybe saying, you
Or your
know,
family.
I want to stay, but I need to be more respected. I need to have a raise. I need to change my situation. And there are just some really practical things. Maybe you're at a job you love, but you're there for 10,
12 hours and you can't get time at home.
And it's just not helping you in your journey. And I think the biggest thing is, you know, maybe you take your printer off of your desk and you move it 4 desks over and say, you know.
Or you auction yours off like I did mine and you have to walk to the copier.
Exactly. I mean, there's so many different things you can do. You
Throughout
know.
the day.
Exactly. Okay. You know. So why don't we just talk about some like practical things you can do at work? Like what are some
You mean
things?
like what? What do you mean practical? You mean like to stay in shape? Or?
Yeah, like let's say you're at a job you really like and maybe you decide, you know, I just sit at this desk and don't get up enough. So I'm going to take my printer and move it 5 desks over so that every time I print something I have to get up and like walk. And that's a lot of up and down most of the day.
It is.
But
Steps.
I mean, it adds your steps. Every little bit counts. I
think I've said this before. One of the things I do is when I am in the office, because I do have to go in the office, I go to the bathroom on the 7th floor and I work on the 4th floor. So at 3 flights of stairs, anytime I have to go to the bathroom. Also, that's where the cute boys work, up there. But it's important to get more steps in. It's just really important, you know?
And climbing steps is good for the rear.
The bootay.
It just is.
It's true. Also, I bring my food with me. I come prepared. Although the cafeteria is wonderful, but there's things in there that I don't do very well with.
That's right.
Like cupcakes and enchiladas.
Yes, that exactly.
So I come
Wait, I'm
prepared.
sorry. Did you say cupcake enchiladas?
Cupcakes and enchiladas. Although that's a great invention.
Cupcake
Another
enchiladas.
thing is, it's so funny. My coworkers at HG, they're so awesome because we are a healthcare company. So in a wellness division, they started a walking challenge. Okay, we teamed up in teams of 15. My team was called the Walk Stars, like the rock stars.
Love it.
And everyone counted their minutes that they walked, like dedicated time throughout the day that you put for walking. 10 minutes here, 15 minutes at lunch, and then we had prizes and we had giveaways and we had this huge competition and it was for 4 weeks and it was great and it got everyone walking more on their own. It just got them more, I guess, you know, thinking about the actual time. And people were in better moods. It was this friendly competition. There was prize going, you know, it was great.
I love
Start
that.
something like that where you work.
So just know that you don't have to be stuck where you're at. Change, you know, is so important.
It is important.
The whole old saying, like you said, cash is great, change is better. And I'm telling you, we are living proof of that.
You deserve to be doing what you want to do.
That's right. You are worthy of the dreams that you have.
That's
and
right.
So just start believing it and
start making a change today.
That's right. We'll talk to you on part 2.
And
don't forget to comment, like,
subscribe.
Leave us some love in the comments. And
we respond to the comments, BTW.
That's right. That's right.
And it's really us. Someone said to me the other day, it's really you responding on Facebook and Twitter and the comments. I was like, yes.
So
that's a whole job in itself.
That's right. So we're anxious to get talking about change and all that. So leave us
tell us the change that you want to make, even if you're scared to make it. Tell us what you want to do.
That's right. And thanks again always for watching. We love you guys, and we will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.